The 1151 death of Geoffrey Plantagenet, progenitor of the Plantagenet dynasty. The death of Geoffrey Plantagenet in 1151 marked the end of a life that had significantly influenced the course of medieval European history. Geoffrey Plantagenet, Count of Anjou, Maine, and Touraine, is primarily remembered as the progenitor of the Plantagenet dynasty, a lineage that would rule England for over 3 centuries. His death not only ended a period marked by territorial expansion and dynastic consolidation, but also set the stage for his son, Henry II, to ascend to the English throne. Let's explore Geoffrey Plantagenet's life, his political and military achievements, the significance of his marriage to Empress Matilda, and his legacy, which continued to shape European history long after his death. Early life and rise to power. Born in 1113, Geoffrey Plantagenet was the son of Fulk V, Count of Anjou, and Ermengarde of Maine. He inherited the title of Count of Anjou at the age of 16 when his father left to become King of Jerusalem. Despite his youth, Geoffrey quickly established himself as a capable leader, maintaining control over Anjou and securing his family's position amid the complex political landscape of 12th century France. His early years were marked by his father's mentorship and his efforts to assert control over his inherited lands. Geoffrey's rise to power was not without its challenges. The regions he controlled, Anjou, Maine, and Touraine, were caught in a constant struggle for dominance with the neighboring regions of Normandy and Brittany, and his ability to manage these challenges through diplomacy and military prowess became one of his defining characteristics. His ambitions extended beyond his inherited titles. Geoffrey sought to expand his influence, which required strategic alliances and careful maneuvering amid the shifting loyalties of the French nobility. The marriage to Empress Matilda. One of Geoffrey's most significant achievements came through his marriage to Empress Matilda, daughter of King Henry I of England. The marriage was arranged by Henry I in 1128 as part of a broader strategy to secure the Anglo-Norman realm. Matilda was a formidable woman in her own right, having previously been married to the Holy Roman Emperor Henry V, and was a strong contender for the English throne after her father's death in 1135. The union between Geoffrey and Matilda, however, was initially tumultuous. The marriage was not based on love or mutual affection, but rather on the political ambitions of both parties. Despite this, the marriage produced 3 sons, including Henry, who would later become Henry II of England. Geoffrey's support for Matilda's claim to the English throne during the civil war known as the Anarchy was critical. Though Matilda did not succeed in becoming queen in her own right, Geoffrey's efforts laid the groundwork for their son Henry's eventual accession to the throne in 1154. Military campaigns and political maneuvering. Geoffrey Plantagenet was not just a dynastic link, he was also a capable military leader and a shrewd politician. One of his most significant military achievements was his conquest of Normandy. Following King Henry I's death, the region was left in a state of chaos and contention. Geoffrey took advantage of the situation, launching a series of campaigns to assert his claim over Normandy through his marriage to Matilda. Between 1135 and 1144, he successfully consolidated his power in the region, capturing several key fortresses and eventually being recognized as Duke of Normandy in 1144. Geoffrey's strategies during these campaigns were characterized by a mix of military prowess and diplomatic finesse. He employed a methodical approach to siege warfare, often negotiating surrenders and fostering alliances rather than relying solely on brute force. His ability to maintain alliances, both within his territories and with neighboring powers, allowed him to manage the delicate balance of power in northern France effectively. The death of Geoffrey Plantagenet. Geoffrey Plantagenet died on September 7, 1151, at the age of 38, in Château de Loire, a small town in the region of Maine. His death came unexpectedly, and while contemporary sources provide limited details, it is generally believed to have been due to a fever, a common cause of death in the medieval period. His passing marked a pivotal moment in European history. At the time of his death, Geoffrey had secured a significant legacy. His son Henry was poised to become one of the most powerful kings in English history. Geoffrey's death did not immediately lead to instability, thanks to the groundwork he had laid throughout his life. His territories were left in a stable condition, and his son Henry was already a force to be reckoned with in both England and France. Geoffrey's careful planning and political maneuvering had ensured that the Plantagenet dynasty would continue to rise in prominence even after his passing. Legacy and significance. Geoffrey Plantagenet's legacy extends far beyond his death in 1151. As the progenitor of the Plantagenet dynasty, Geoffrey's influence was felt for generations. His son, Henry II, would go on to become the first Plantagenet king of England, reigning from 1154 to 1189. Under Henry II, England would see significant legal, administrative, and economic reforms, many of which laid the foundations for the English common law system and the future development of the British state. The Plantagenet dynasty, established by Geoffrey, would rule England for over 3 centuries, from the accession of Henry II in 1154 until the death of Richard in 1485 at the Battle of Bosworth Field. During this period, the Plantagenets oversaw significant changes in the English monarchy, including the Magna Carta's signing, the development of the parliamentary system, and the 100 Years' War with France. The dynasty produced some of the most famous monarchs in English history, including Richard the Lionheart and Edward III. Geoffrey's marriage to Matilda was a turning point in the dynastic politics of Europe, as it united 2 powerful claims to the English throne and brought about the eventual union of Normandy and England under one ruler. His military conquests and political maneuvers helped to secure the borders of his territories and provided his successors with a strong power base from which to expand their influence. Thus, Geoffrey Plantagenet's death in 1151 marked the end of an era, but also the beginning of a new chapter in English and European history. As the progenitor of the Plantagenet dynasty, his life was characterized by strategic marriages, military campaigns, and political acumen that set the stage for centuries of Plantagenet rule. Geoffrey's legacy is not only visible in the rise of his son, Henry II, but also in the long-term impact of the Plantagenet dynasty on the development of medieval England and Europe. Through his actions and alliances, Geoffrey Plantagenet left an indelible mark on history. His death in 1151 may have closed a chapter of direct rule in Anjou, but it opened the way for a dynasty that would define medieval England and shape the future of the British Isles for generations to come. Thanks for listening. Like and comment. And please subscribe, as that will help us get more videos out to those interested in the Middle Ages. See you next time on Medieval Chronicles 1066. Stay curious.